What's going on? Welcome back to the Real Bodybuilding Podcast. It is Monday morning. Actually, it's Monday afternoon, December 8th, and we have a fuckload of news, right, Suki?
Yeah, we got bits and bobs for the weekend that we didn't cover from yesterday, given the fact that the majority of the conversation was about Hardy and Big Ramy. And today, we're going to focus on one bit of sad news. We do have a casualty who will no longer be competing at the Arnold Classic. We're going to update physique from Mike Badass Summerfield, who guest posed over in the US, and the GOAT of Bikini got her 54th pro win, and she's not stopping yet. She's got one more show until the season's wrapped up. But I think the best place to start off is let's get the sad news out of the way first. And I'm really interested to hear your thoughts here because I'm going to throw something to you. Michael DABOUL is out of the Arnold Classic. Fortunately, post Olympia and post Prague, he's gone through his standard tests, so his heart test, his blood work. Unfortunately, there were some irregularities, some issues, which he was told to really end the season, focus on getting yourself healthy, get yourself sorted before you come back on stage. So Michael DABOUL is out, but this is once again another strong reminder about the importance of getting your blood work done and going through tests, especially when you do finish your season. Fuad, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts about the importance of blood work and, of course, Michael's decision to shut down his prep and focus on getting healthy again.
Listen, I think this is a great idea for Michael. Everybody loves Michael. He's an awesome competitor, shredded physique, crazy proportions, and we want to see him on stage as often as possible. But the fact of the matter is if you want longevity in the sport, if you want to last a long time, if you don't want this sport to hurt you and only want it to help you, then you have to monitor your health, and sometimes that means taking a break. Now, I work with Merrick Health. The reason I work with them is because there is zero judgment and they're very thorough. And when they ask you, if they tell you you need to take a break, you need to take it seriously because you're getting, look, when you go to a regular doctor, most regular doctors don't have a lot of health training, hormonal training, those kind of things. And if you ask them for blood work, you're getting a very standard, I'm going to check your thyroid, I'm going to check your liver, your kidneys, and maybe your cholesterol, and you're going to walk out the door, and that's it. When you go to a company like Merrick Health, you're going to get like 400 different lab markers checked. So your kidneys are getting, 10 different lab markers checked. Your cholesterol is getting 10 different lab markers. Like everything is being thoroughly checked. The reason I'm saying this is for guys that don't get their blood work done and don't get these things checked, things can be very silent for a long time while they're doing a lot of damage. So for me, for example, not getting my blood pressure under control, it's something you can't necessarily feel if it's high, but not super high. Not getting your blood pressure under control can lead to kidney damage, right? This happened to me over the course of 10 years. I damaged my kidneys all because I didn't get blood work done. So I want to congratulate, Michael for having the foresight to go to a doctor, get blood work done, and then not only just get the blood work done, but also listen. Because one of the things I notice with bodybuilders is we have a lot of blind ambition. I've been there, when you're 25, you're 30 years old, you're on the cusp of like making it big. Like Michael DABOUL is a top 5, top 10 Olympian. When you're on that like cusp of getting to that goal that you want, you have a lot of blind ambition to the point where you don't give a fuck. Oh, my blood pressure's off. Oh, my heart levels are off. Oh, my sugar levels are too high, or my liver enzymes are out of whack. I don't care. I got to get to the show. It's commendable that Michael's able to see whatever it is that he saw in his blood work and listen to his doctors when they said, take some time off. Okay. So I just want to tell people this as a blanket statement. It doesn't matter what company you work with. I'm not trying to shill for Merrick. Like I think they're a great company. I think they're very thorough. They're trusted by a lot of pros, but whatever company you work with, or if you're just going to go to your doctor, if you have a doctor you trust and he's not judgmental, got to get your blood work done every 4 months at least. Okay. Minimum twice a year, because blood work in a snapshot in time doesn't really tell much. You might see something off here and there. It could be because you didn't sleep well, or you trained too hard the day before, or or you didn't drink enough water and you're dehydrated. It's a trend we're looking for, right? And you only get to see a trend by getting blood work done over a long period of time. So start young, start when you're 20, start when you're 25, and get it done every 6 months at least, so you can get a trend of what your blood work is doing and how your health is going. And that's the end of my lecture for today.
Well, look, I no doubt we all wish Michael a speedy recovery, and we hopefully will see him back on stage very soon. But look, talking about stage, Mike Badass Summerfield, number 2 in the world, number 2 in Olympia, but the reigning Arnold Classic champion.
Hold
He
on.
was guest.
Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sugi. I just want to go back to Michael DABOUL for a second.
Yeah.
We kind of got glossed over that story, focusing mostly on his blood work. But if we focus on the competitive aspect, with Michael out of the lineup, who does that put in the front running now? Because I would say that in that lineup, without Mike Sommerfeld confirmed, Michael DABOUL was the front runner, was he not? Like, I don't know who was ahead of him.
If you base it off rankings, Menegate is the front runner, having placed 1 place above Michael. And like you said, those 2 were the only ones confirmed from the top 10 at the Olympia.
Right.
Question mark was still on Mike and Logan, given the fact that we already know Terrence is out, Dino's out, Jose and Niall, they're all out. So those 2, we're still waiting here. At the moment, based on what we know, Menegate is leading the charge.
That's a big deal, because with Mike Sommerfeld out, we don't know if he's doing it. We hope he is, but we're going to lead to that story in a minute. But then we also got Logan, who we don't know if is in, and that leaves Menegate sitting out there by himself. So now he's kind of got the opportunity to walk away with this show, because Michael is no longer there to try and take it from him. That's a big deal. So sorry, we got carried away into because I'm always trying to push the health narrative. I got carried away from the fact that now this is Menegate's show to walk away with by himself, unless somebody else jumps in.
I mean, maybe this is starting the dominance of Brazil in the classic physique division.
Right.
Dino's already reigning Olympic champion. We also already know Gabriel from Brazil, who beat Menegate at the Texas Pro in 2024, is also doing Olympia. Obviously, at the moment, he's not ranked as a top 10 or even top 15 Olympian that Menegate is. Menegate is the front runner, which leads me to the next story. Because, of course, Mike Sommerfeld, we finally got a glance of how he's looking in his off-season. I believe Gilco just dropped the video. It might be on Michael's page as well. If you go on Gilco's page, you probably will see the full one. It might be on Mike's page now as well. So let me just add some context. It was the Mid-American Winter Classic. Mike was there guest posing. Really a bit of a throwback from what we may have seen from Cedric and Andrew Jack with a blindfold. If you do go on Gilco's page, I do believe he's posted the full routine. But where we're going with this is I'm seeing this physique, and I'm seeing, going back to 13 weeks out from Olympia, this is very familiar, a familiar place that we expect to see Mike when he is planning to step back on stage. And all fingers, all arrows are pointing that we should see him back on stage at the Arnold Classic. Looking how he's looking right now, and of course, as we know, there are minimal areas where he can potentially improve. Why not go and do the Arnold Classic and defend your crown? When you see this, Fuad, are you seeing a guy that is probably will be back on prep very soon to defend his Arnold title?
This looks like a guy who's already in prep. I mean, to me, this physique looks like 6 or 8 weeks out. Like, this doesn't look like a physique that's in the off season. But then again, I can't say too much because the classic guys tend to stay a little bit leaner in the off season than the open class guys. But I mean, you can see here, he's got lines in his glutes. I suspect Mike has those all the time though. So again, not a telltale sign, but I'm going to guess he's doing it because he's got no challenger. And why not go pick up like 80 grand or whatever it is at the Arnold? What I can say is, this is Cedric's routine. Cedric is the blindfold guy. Other guys try and do it. I'm not sure what the music sounds like here. We can take a listen for a second. I'm sure Mike did an incredible job, but I'm a little biased because I'm one of Cedric's friends and I was there for it. Cedric's blindfold routine, especially at the Arnold with the lights and the music and everything that he picked, was the ultimate blindfold routine. And I guess these guys are paying homage to that, which is cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to the physique, I definitely think with the condition that we're seeing him in, he's going to jump into the Arnold. Mike, I think, can also has to, and maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but I feel like with the height debacle and him weighing at the Arnold last year, people saying, well, he weighed too much because they heighted him wrong. And then the real Mike was the Mike that showed up at the Olympia. I think Mike needs to do a show and kind of prove that they can height him properly and he still can be dominant. I mean, look, they heighted him properly at the Olympia and he was still second place. So he is a dominant champion regardless. But I think why not take the opportunity to hone this prep and figure out your peak exactly where it should be for your new height. If this is the height they're going to give him every time, which is what it should be, is his actual height, then he needs to perfect that peak because at the Olympia, he was shredded, but a little bit flat. And I think that's why Ramon got him. Can Ramon beat him when he's a little bit more full? So can he get a little bit more shredded and then fill that physique out a little bit more and still stay at the weight cap? That's going to be the question. And I don't think that's something they should be testing at the Olympia again. I think it would be nice for him to do a show like the Arnold, test it out, and really iron out how they're going to nail that peak come Olympia time again.
So let me throw this to you because I would also expect to hopefully we see Logan Franklin at the Arnold Classic. There's absolutely no reason why Logan wouldn't do it, given the fact that Arnold's a big fan of his physique, and we saw how close it was last time. What does Logan need to do to take out the reigning champion in Mike Summerfield?
Well, this is an interesting question, especially, and I think I'm the wrong person to put it to because I'm one of the outliers or few or minority group that think Logan is exactly what a classic physique should be. But, there's a lot of people, and I understand this pushback that like every body part should be symmetrical and every body part should be balanced and I kind of judge classic a little bit differently. I judge it more on the fact that Logan's got a really unique shape, and I like that unique shape. The unique shape is very to me is very evident of what classic was supposed to be, which was a different kind of physique, a unique physique, not necessarily a massive, densely muscled physique. I think that's what Logan brings to the stage. Now, take my opinion out of it. He was second place last year, and even though Mike won with straight first, I believe, it was still close. So it's not that close. Like, some judges had Logan winning, but he wasn't like a far second place. Now, Mike was also heighted wrong at that show, and he was given an extra 8 pounds. So could that 8 pounds be the difference where the gap is where Logan was? Like if Logan was close and he was 8 pounds heavier, who knows what that looks like when he's not, doesn't have that extra weight. Personally, I want to see it. Now, the other thing is if I was Logan, I would be thinking to myself, I got to go to this show because now I get to stand next. If I almost beat him and he was 8 pounds heavier, it would only stand to reason that I could be better. And Logan's had more time to grow as well. So who knows what that looks like now. So I think it'd be a big mistake for Logan to skip the opportunity to stand next to Mike again, because at the Olympia, he was too far behind him. Didn't get a chance. And I think at the Arnold, he will.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we can't forget the fact that Logan was second at the Arnold and then dropped all the way outside the top 10 of the Olympia. So there's no doubt that Logan will hopefully rewrite some of the wrongs of Olympia, but also he does have a strong record at the Arnold. He knows his physique is liked. I remember seeing some backstage footage. Even Chris Bumstead went up to Logan and stated that, look, I have you the winner. I see you as what classic should be, probably because Sibo may see some part of him that he sees the Logan. Right. So definitely, if we do get the Logan and Mike rematch at the Arnold Classic, then you can imagine the storyline, because this time Mike has to be weighed correctly. We know what his weight limit is because Steve's already said once you get weighted once, heighted once at Olympia, that stands for the next 12 months. So we know what he needs to be. Going away from classic, I'm going to talk about, hopefully, it'll soon to be one of your favorite categories to discuss, and that is bikini. We're going to go straight into, look, when someone keeps breaking the records, we have to talk about it. Ashley Colwasser, 54 pro wins now in her career. Absolutely incredible. I mean, look, to be fair, she was always going to be the standout frontrunner at this show with very a lack of top 10 or even top 50 Olympians at the show. She's not stopping. She's not stopping because she is going back out. So this was Vancouver. There is a video. If you just go down, there we go, the far right.
This one?
There we go. This is the most recent one. So just to add some context, guys, as well, Ashley is competing again this weekend. This time she's going to Argentina to secure her 55th pro win before she shuts it down for 2025. I imagine 2026, she's going to go back to what she did before and compete in many, many shows like she did in 2024. This year was all about focusing on Olympia, so she only did a handful of shows when normally it's double figures. So don't be surprised if when she takes a fifth pro win this weekend, that we might see another 8 or 10 wins next year.
How old is she?
Oh, yeah, well, she told me this in an interview before, so I don't want to disrespect her by getting her age.
Over under 30, over under 40.
No, she is, I believe, 34, 35.
So she could do this for another 5 years, probably. At least.
At least.
Yeah. So she could end up with like 100 pro wins.
And then even after that, if she wants to go into the Masters Olympia and start securing Masters titles, I mean,
yeah.
It's how far she wants to go.
Like, this is ridiculous. This physique is like, you know, like when you see like a Barbie doll, like the plastic figurines, this is what it looks like. It's so like, there's not one flaw. All the skin is perfect. The insertions are perfect. Like the proportions are perfect. There's nothing, literally nothing she can do that can make it any better. And I'm going to say this again, and this is going to bother people because they keep taking this word as a negative. This woman has peaked. Okay. That is not a negative word. She is peaked at the best. She is the best. She has got 55 wins. She's going to add another 45 wins probably before she retires, but she's going to do it with this physique. So I just want to make, I want to make this point, and I'm moving away from bikini for 1 second because we talked about HADI last show.
Do you want to go to Hardy's story and mention this again?
And I go ahead. Why, you got another story?
Oh no, do you want to go to Hardy Chupan's Instagram story and see was a story related to you getting its age wrong?
Oh no. I didn't get his age wrong. I said I don't know what his age is. Jesus.
Let's grab an Instagram story. Just I saw this morning. If we go on Hardy's page, and it should still be there. Let's go to 1 or 2 down. Next one.
1994. 7 years old.
One more.
30. He's 38. Okay, so I was. What did I say?
And one more. Let's go to the next one. Reminded everyone his titles.
Okay. What does that mean? Is this against me? Hadi, I love you, man. This is so crazy. I have to express this point because this is like, for people who listen to your whole clip on the BTS channel, I did explain it, but I'm going to explain it again. People take the word peaked as in finished. That's not what peaked means. Peaked means this physique is perfect. Like, when I say a physique is peaked, I'm saying there's nothing else this guy can do to make this physique better. This is as good as it gets. And in Hadi's case, that's not a bad thing. He's Mr. Olympia. He's a former Mr. Olympia. That means he's won the game. We all start bodybuilding at a certain point and we're like, I got to fix this. I got to fix that. My triceps are too small. My shoulders are too weak. My legs have to come up. My back is too shit. And we all chase perfection. What I am saying is this guy has built the best version of his physique. Every body part is proportionate to the other. The detail is the same from front to back. The balance and proportions are the way a bodybuilding physique should be. It's an X frame. He doesn't have a big waist. These are all positive things. So for those who took my comments as negative, you are listening to the wrong thing. You're hearing it the wrong way. If you are number 1 and 2 in the world, and I say you've peaked and you're going to stay at number 1 and 2 in the world, that is not a negative thing, my friend. It is very hard to stay at the top of any sport, let alone bodybuilding, because there are always the young guys chasing you. And if I say HADI's peaked and he's going to stay there as long as he wants or until he retires, that is just a feather in his cap to say, this guy has built the physique we all want. It is the guy who has perfected it from top to bottom, left to right, side to side. This guy's got it. That's not easy to do. You look at Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is one of our greatest champions ever in bodybuilding. Jay started at first or second in the world in 2001. He was second in the world. And he remained first or second in the world for 10 years. His physique didn't peak for that entire 10 years. He kept having to chase it and build it and make it bigger and make it bigger and make it and refine it and add more detail and do all these things. He had to do that from 2001 all the way to 2011, right? Hadi's already got it. He's already been there. He was Mr. Olympia in 2022. His physique, I would argue, has not changed since he was Mr. Olympia. He's remained first or second in the world. And I think it's just going to stay that way. So for anybody who took my comments as negative, I believe you're hearing the wrong thing, because in my opinion, when I'm saying that, I'm envious of a bodybuilder like that who can hit his stride and hold it for 5 years. That was kind of the whole thing. So I just wanted to put that button on it before we wrap up. Is there any other news we want to cover today?
No, that's everything on my side.
All right, that's everything. Oh, wait, I got one thing I wanted to cover that I saw.
Go on. What was it?
I saw another hint.
What I missed.
You missed something. I got something for once. That's funny. Okay. So I saw this on Rami's page.
Yes.
You see this? Check this shit out.
Yes, I did.
What do we see? Another hint. We see another hint. He's coming for the Arnold. Look at that shit. He's like, I'm coming back. I know that's what this means. All right. I had to share my own little piece of news that I got. Subscribe, like, share. Thank you guys for watching. Suki, fun as always, man. I'll catch you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, guys.